What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Darian is Fishing. Today, obviously, I'm out on Lake Guntersville again. I just left the gym this morning, and honestly, it was one of those mornings where you wake up, you feel the pressure outside, the air, everything just feels right, like it's gonna be a top water kind of morning. So I got a quick workout in, went and picked up the boat. Now I'm here at the lake. I hope they're gonna be biting top water today. It just feels like a top water type day. So that's what I'm gonna try to do this morning. If I can't catch them on top water, we'll figure something out, I hope. If you're new to my channel, I wish that you'd go ahead and subscribe right now. But if you don't want to subscribe right now, just give me a second. Let me prove to you my channel is worth subscribing to. At least watch the rest of this video, and then you can decide later on if you want to subscribe to my channel or not. But before we even get started, I've got a conference call to take, so I'm going to park right here and take this call. I need to actually hurry up because I got 2 minutes before it starts. You can park the truck. Call starts in 1 minute, but I need to get away from this boat ramp in case somebody comes up and starts talking, or people just putting in and out of the water. Yeah, I don't need to be on the phone. Somebody rolls up, starts being loud right here at the ramp, so I'm gonna idle out here to this little island. Also, my wife told me don't wear these pants today because I'm gonna burn up. I should have listened. I'm burning slap up. Now that that's over, yeah, so I just realized I don't even have my topwater box in the boat, which makes topwater fishing pretty difficult. Basically, all I got is one whopper plopper, so I guess I'm gonna go throw that. All right, I've been using the Zone Lock hook on a Texas rig. I'm loving it. I haven't lost any fish on it, and I've caught a lot of fish on it. It's got a little bend in there, holds your fish really good. I got a link for these hooks if you're interested in them. I've been using them pretty much exclusively the last month, and they're badass. You can find them on Tackle Warehouse. I'll put the link in the description for those, but for now, I'm going fishing. Here's some brim popping. Oh my God, I should have listened to Hannah. It's very hot. I'm taking my pants off. Oh, that's so much better. I do have underwear on. Whew, I feel free. If y'all have never fished in just your boxers and a t-shirt before, I highly suggest it. I am free. There's airflow. Wow, this is spectacular. Oh, what's up, guys? This is gonna be the Q&A portion of this video. You guys know exactly how Q&As work by this point, so no need to explain. I've got questions that were asked on Instagram, and I'm just gonna go down the list, answer some of these questions for you guys that you may or may not know about me. And we've got Coco here hanging out with me. PB Bass. I caught a 9-pounder in Florida on a swim jig. That video is on my YouTube channel if you want to check that out. Why did you leave Quantum? Is Dobbins making all your rods now, not just the cranking rod? I did not leave Quantum. Kevin Van Dam left Quantum. He had their cranking rod that I've always used. And so I got Scott Dobbins to build just 2 versions of a cranking rod. Basically a 6XD and a 10XD rod. And those are the ones that I had for sale. Quantum is coming out with a new cranking rod. When that rod comes out, I'll probably alternate between the both of them. But I didn't want to be promoting Kevin Van Dam's rod when he's not with Quantum anymore. So still using Quantum, everything's fine. Just got 2 custom rods. Coco or Hannah? Definitely Hannah. McDonald's or Burger King? If I had to pick, I would probably say Burger King slaps, but I would probably say McDonald's. I'm just a big Subway fan. I'm not a Subway and Chick-fil-A fan. What is your favorite thing to do besides bass fishing? Great question. That's something that I'm going to start incorporating into my videos. Not just, so temporarily we're living in this little small house, but once we get out of this house, we move into our house on the lake in Hayden, my channel is going to evolve a little bit. Still going to be fishing, still going to be filming every day just like I do now. But it's going to change into a little bit more lifestyle stuff, so y'all can see behind the scenes of what I enjoy doing, what my friends enjoy, get my brother over there acting a fool, Hannah, like just fun stuff. But I would say my favorite thing to do besides bass fishing, truly I love working. Like what I do for a job, I love it, so I work a lot, but I love working out. I love the gym. It's a getaway. It's take your anger out if you got anger, take your stress out if you got stress, just go push your body to the limit. I really enjoy that. So that would be my favorite thing to do besides fishing. What's your wife's job? And then somewhere down here, someone says, what's your real job? So it's the same, actually same person. My job, Full-time, I work for TH Marine, and I manage their social media and pictures and videos, some other things. I work from home for TH, so I also have an agency called the Outdoors Agency. The Outdoors Agency, we manage social media for about 20 different fishing brands, fishing and boating brands. Everything from taking pictures to doing videos to hiring photographers, working with the brands, figuring out exactly what they need, what they're pushing, new products, and then putting together a plan of how to promote those new things the best we can. So post them on Facebook, post them to Instagram, and then manage their social media platforms. And then on the aside from that, I'm also doing YouTube to break down those things like financially. I've got TH, the Outdoors Agency, and YouTube. TH probably is right around 20% of my income. YouTube is about 25% of my income, and then the Outdoors Agency is definitely the majority, 50 to 60% of our income. Hannah also works with me full-time. She is a professional Instagrammer. She busts her butt every single day, several hours a day, working on Instagram, working on Facebook, replying back to all the people who have questions about products or brands, whatever it is. Hannah's responding to it perfectly in sync with what the brand wants to do. So, if someone says, what rod should I be throwing a chatterbait on? Hannah asked me for the answer to that question. She knows a lot of it, but like, hey, where do I buy this worm at? Hannah will respond, go to such and such.com. Or, hey, such and such company, check out this big fish that I caught. Hannah will reply, awesome, great job. So she kind of represents the brands. We both do. What are your best tips for finding fish out deep? My best tips is stay on your graph. Don't have rods out on the front deck. Just go looking. Mark places on the map that look good, and then come back later, even if it's another day. Spend a day graphing, really learning your graphs, and then come back, fish all those waypoints, and figure out what's down there. If you didn't have sponsors, would you still be filming and fishing? Yes, 100%. I am fortunate to have the job that I do, and I work for myself. I work from home, so I fish a lot, and so I would still be fishing. I would still be filming. The sponsors just make it better for. Obviously, I get paid, but I get paid by 6 cents, Quantum, Lure Lock, and Zone Lock hooks. That obviously helps, but I'm promoting those companies, but I'm also giving back to you guys. I signed those deals with those companies because they were very willing to give back to you guys. So the answer to your question is yes, I would still be filming, but obviously sponsors definitely helps. How do you choose what ledges to go scan? That's a tricky question. There's not a perfect answer for it because they get on all different kinds of places. River ledges that are 10 miles long. Looks the exact same. You'll find one spot that's got fish on it. Doesn't make any sense, but a lot of the places are a ditch that runs out to the main river, like a creek channel that runs out to the main river, or a little bend in the main river. Some of those places are higher targets or humps, but at the end of the day, it's just putting your graphs on and just go scanning, because there's literally so many places that I fish that if you look on a map and I showed you there's fish right there, you'd be like, that doesn't even make sense. So just go scan. It's literally, that's the only thing you can do. What are some good steps to become a more competitive tournament fisherman? Tournament fishing is something that's very tough mentally, I guess physically, but mostly mentally, because you're waking up early, you're going to try to find the fish that you caught the previous weekend, or you found the previous weekend, or the day before the tournament. And so there's a lot of things running through your mind. When you get to that place and either somebody else is there or they didn't bite you, we've all done this. We got this one stretch between these 5 docks where we know they're at. You run up there, you burn through that stretch really quick, you don't even get a bite. Then you're like, okay, shit, what now? So you go to the next stretch, burn through it, don't catch one. So it's like, in that moment, you're like, well, dude, that's all we have, let's go fish. But you have to really figure out, where do those fish go? How do they move? Where, timing, time of day, the cloud conditions, the weather conditions, those things all matter. So I think one thing, if I had to say, would make you a better tournament angler is work on your mental. I talked about that in a video recently, where I was talking about not giving up on an area too soon, or I guess knowing when to leave is the main thing. Like, I was fishing the spot, there was hundreds of fish on there. I couldn't catch them. But I was realizing something. They were off the bottom a little bit more, and I was fishing bottom baits, but I would have to sit down, tie on all new stuff, put new line on the reel, tie on new bait. I didn't want to do all that. And I was graphing back off to go leave, and I said, Ryan, I can't leave, dude. I've got to fish this. So I sat down, did all that stuff, spooled up a new reel, put a swim bait on, first cast caught one. So it's like not being lazy, getting out of a bad routine. I think those are good things to help you stay focused on tournaments. Hannah says, what kind of jelly do you put in your hair to make it look so cool? Most important measure of social media marketing. That's a cool question business-wise, but I think there's not necessarily a most important measure because some people want to have more followers, some people want to have more sales out of social, some people want to have, you know, better looking feed, better pictures, you know, be able to reach out to fans better. So there's different companies have different goals. I guess one that people like is followers, but followers to me is, I would rather have less followers that are more interested in you or your brand, as I would have 1 million followers and you get way less percentage of likes and stuff. So I'd rather have 1,000 followers and 800 of them love who I am, rather than have 20,000 followers and way less of, you know, 500 of them like you are. So it's more about context and who believes in you, I guess. What is the Outdoors agency? I answered that question earlier. It's my social media marketing agency. Who is your favorite pro? My favorite pro is Swindle by a long shot, just because we're really close friends. I think his personality is awesome. His fishing skill is the best you'll ever be around. And life stuff, he's a really cool person to know. But business stuff, he's a really cool person to know. I think the one cool thing that people don't understand about pros is Gerald, when he goes fishing, there's never a day that they're not biting. Like if me and you went fishing and we don't catch them after a couple hours, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours, well, hell, let's just go to the house, they're not biting. That don't happen with Gerald. They're going to bite somewhere. He's going to find out where they're biting at. So I think that's one thing that pros have that regular people don't have is give up. They don't give up. They don't ever quit. What lake will you fish when you move to Hayden? I'm still going to fish every lake. I'll live on Mountain Woods Lake, but there's within an hour's drive, there's every lake. Smith Lake, Guntersville, Wheeler, Neely Henry, Logan Martin. I'll probably go down to Lay and Mitchell and George. I'll probably fish down there more just because I'm closer to them. I'll still probably predominantly fish Guntersville though. When is the new rig coming in? That is a question that I have no answer to. Rangers being extremely slow. I ordered the boat May 6th and I still don't even have an order confirmation for my boat. Super frustrating. Very, very, very frustrating. They're being insanely slow. There's reasons that they are, but I don't think it's acceptable that I put a boat order in 2 months ago and I haven't even received a confirmation saying, hey, your boat is about to be processed. So like even if I got it today, you're still looking at 8 to 12 weeks before I get it. That's not acceptable to me, but whatever. All right, Steven says, if you had to pick one crankbait to throw and you only get one of them, which one would you pick? If I had to pick one crankbait, man, that would be tough. It would either be a DT6 in some sort of a shad pattern or a 6 cent square bill in probably chartreuse and black. I think those are probably the two best crankbaits of all time. Like that, a square bill, chartreuse and black, or a DT6. That's two of the best crankbaits ever. So if I had to pick one, honestly, to fish for the rest of my life, probably gonna be a DT6. How did you get enough money for your first bass boat? Great question. And that's a question I think deserves a lot more time and attention. Because here's the thing. All of you see people, whether it's pros, whether it's your buddies, whether it's your uncle, whoever it is, has a nice boat. And so you want a nice boat. And you get out of high school, you get your first job cutting grass, you save you up $1,000, $2,000. Then you get you a little big boy job. And so you think you can afford a boat. But boats are expensive as crap. Like, not just the upfront cost. Like, and this is, I'm kind of getting away from the question, but everything breaks on a boat. It doesn't matter what kind of boat you have, whether it's a brand new 2020 with the best of everything. Something's going to tear up. The motor is going to have a problem. The trolling motor is going to break. I'll give you an example. In 1 week, I had a flat tire, my brakes went out, and I broke a winch strap, and I broke a skeg on my trolling motor. 4 things. Some of them were pretty cheap things, but the tire and the brakes, that was a couple $100. The winch strap was 15, 20 bucks, and the skeg was 15, 20 bucks. So you're looking at $400 or $500 just in 1 week. Trey said that he spent like $1,000 last week on his boat because a couple things messed up, and it was big things, and then he had to get something replaced in his engine. He has a brand new boat. I have a brand new boat. Literally, those tires probably don't even have, I'm just gonna guess, maybe 3,000 miles, maybe 2,000 miles, maybe 2,000 miles. Like, I don't even know if it's that much because I live here at the lake, I fish here. So stuff breaks. I think that you need to have a good little savings built up for when you buy a boat, because what happens is you save up $2,000, you put that as a down payment, you have this huge boat payment that you probably don't, I'm talking about entry-level people buying boats, not adults. But you buy this boat, you can afford it, but it's pushing the limit, but you want to have that nice boat to try to keep up with what your buddy's got. And then something tears up and you can't afford to fix it. Trust me, it happened to me on my very first boat. I bought a Triton that I loved with it was badass, I loved it. It was a 2003, I think it was 2003, TR20 with an Evinrude. My papa has the same boat with a Mercury. Mine was a dual console. Anyhow, awesome boat, I loved it. But the engine tore up, and I, big boy with this awesome big boy job, couldn't afford it. I was probably 20 maybe, and should not have bought the boat looking back, but at the time I loved it and it was my thing. But I spent basically all my money paying for my truck. I had a Tahoe at the time, like a 2003 Tahoe. And so it was paid off. It was a couple $1,000s. Anyhow, when something tore up on that boat, hell, I had to wait for months to be able to fix it. So I don't remember even what the original question was. How did you save it, or how did you get the money for your first boat? So the answer to that question is, I saved up maybe, I don't know, $1,000, $1,500, and I used that as a down payment on a boat that was, I don't even remember, $15,000, $20,000, something like that. So that's the answer to that question. Okay, there's two questions. I'm going to combine them. One is from Lane Jacobs, and one is from CR Fishing. CR Fishing says, any big trips coming up and top 5 lakes for a bucket list? Lane Jacobs says top 3. I don't feel like answering 5, CR. I'm gonna do any big trips coming up and top 3 lakes. That's probably gonna be the last question I do. Any big trips coming up? Actually today, me and Hannah are leaving to go on a vacation with some of our friends in Mexico. Y'all see some of those clips in another video. We're not gonna make a full video of it. I'm gonna bring one GoPro with one battery, and when it dies, it dies. So we're gonna capture a little bit of the content to having fun, but this is truly an escape trip. I'm not filming, I'm not doing anything but drinking, laying on the beach, and eating an obnoxious amount of food, pizza. Anyhow, we'll show some clips from that, but no big trips fishing wise coming up. The big thing that I'm waiting on right now is when we move to our house, we're moving to the lake. We're gonna literally live on the lake. There's a lot of renovations. We're just changing a lot of things. So I'm gonna capture that on video for you guys. It's gonna be an incredible series. One is just gonna be the demolition, the rebuild, that whole thing is just really cool to me because we're spending a lot of our money on that. And so one, for me and Hannah and our family and our kids one day want to see what that house used to look like. I think that's gonna be really neat. And then two, just showing you guys behind the scenes of what's going on. And then after that, we're gonna film how to fish a new lake, because I've only fished this place 1 or 2 times, and it was 10 years ago, and it was before I really knew anything about fishing. So that's gonna be really cool. How to fish a new lake from a boat, from a kayak, from the bank. So I'm gonna kind of do all 3 of those angles as a for real from this new place. Like, how can I get to different places? So that's gonna be cool. Probably no travel trips this year, just because how much money we're spending on our house. I'm gonna go through all that with you guys, the budget, what each thing costs, the whole thing. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So that's that. No new trips, but me and Luke do have some really cool things planned for 2021, so I think that'll be fun. Top 3 favorite lakes, or top 3 lakes that I would want to fish. Number 1 is Falcon, just because it's Falcon. Everyone wants to go to Falcon. This is giant bass in South Texas on the Mexican border. I just want to go there really bad. The second lake I would love to go to, the next 2 are both going to be smallmouth lakes. I would love to go to St. Clair in about May. The middle of May. That's just like the dream trip in my opinion, just because you catch so many fish. And then the St. Lawrence River in about first week of June. That's probably the 3 trips, probably in order. I don't know about the St. Lawrence River versus St. Clair, which one's better. I think probably the river is better for big ones. I know St. Clair, I think from what I've been told, is probably easier to learn. So that would probably be more fun on the first trip up there, learning how to fish smallmouth stuff, that super light line tubes and light drop shots. Going to the St. Lawrence River would be really cool too. So maybe we'll try to plan a couple of those trips next year. just check off the bucket list. We might do a bucket list tour. Hell, I don't know. Anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A. I've laid this over some fishing, and just so you could not just stare at me and Coco laying on the couch doing this video. So hope you guys enjoyed getting to know me a little bit better, and hopefully as my channel grows, we have some crazy cool things planned. One thing that I really want to do is when we get to the lake, we get the renovations done, I want to turn, not turn my channel into this, but do a lot of really cool things. We live on this small, I guess it's small compared to Guntersville, but this creek, we want to build a zip line across it. We want to build a rope swing. We want to build a water balloon launcher. We want to build like swimming races, like football throw off the top. We're going to build a redneck top golf. So we live on this huge hill and it goes down to the water. So we're going to have a redneck top golf. Like just all kind of cool things that I want to do and just have fun with. So anyhow, hope you guys enjoy the video. I will see all of you on the next one. Make sure you're subscribed. And Coco, you want to tell them anything? Tell them bye. See ya.